If you feel like your career as a producer is going nowhere, you're probably spending too much time making beats. Now you might be thinking, how is that even possible? But today I'm going to explain why and show you how to actually progress your career in music. This simple formula took me from aimlessly making beats as a hobby to going full time, and I know it can do the same for you. Okay, so why is making beats all day a problem? Well, often it's done without direction. Most producers will say something like, I want to get placements, which is great in theory, but in actuality, it's far too vague. They don't have a plan and end up making as many beats as possible in the name of working hard, but this often leads nowhere. So the big question is, how do we fix that? Well, first, you need a precise goal. As soon as I did this, it changed my life. I used to make samples all day, sending them out, hoping for a placement. And whilst technically this was a goal, I didn't have a concrete plan as to how I was going to achieve it. It was basically just make music and hope for the best. Fast forward a few years and I started making YouTube videos. Suddenly, it clicked. I knew that making valuable content would lead to views, those views would lead to money, allowing me to go full time. So I want you guys to follow this formula. 1, pick a big goal, and 2, work backwards from that goal in small steps. To understand it better, I'm going to tell you about a mistake I made personally. As I mentioned in this video, I was working on stuff for Black, but with doing YouTube as well, I didn't dedicate that much time to it. Whereas another producer who had the exact same connection as me literally told me he's solely working on stuff for Black. And long story short, he had like 6 songs on the album, I had 0. He set his precise goal to get on Black's album, and he worked with intent to achieve that. So apply that to yourself, figure out what connections you have, and pick 1 or 2 to focus your time on, rather than spreading yourself thin trying to make a bunch of different beats for different people. This will not only help you see better results, but you'll probably enjoy it more too. Moving with intent is huge for changing the trajectory of your career. Second, I want to touch on having your own thing. I've seen plenty of successful producers just disappear because relying on artists is not sustainable. I'm not saying don't chase placements, but having something that is completely in your hands is in my mind essential. So how do you do that? Well, first, you have to see the value in it. It could be making content or building an artist up from scratch. Either way, it's very difficult to do. There's a part of you that will say, just go back to making beats because that's what you know. But even a big producer like Metro makes content because he sees the value in it. You can never have true freedom if you're always relying on others. Once you understand that, then you got to figure out what it is you want to do. But that can be so overwhelming. To simplify it, just focus on who you are, both as a person and musically. If you're introverted, it's probably not best to try and go viral making beats in public. Whereas if you're an extrovert, use that to your advantage. A perfect example is someone like Tumphy, who's not afraid to film himself cooking up on a plane and go super viral. Or Shonshi, who is huge because of his outgoing personality. Sustainability is key, so just think, what can I do over and over again with consistency? And the same applies to your music. What are you best at, and what do you enjoy doing the most? For example, with the way I make music, I struggle to film myself cooking up live because it becomes a bit of a mess, which doesn't make for good content. So I create in a way that suits me and then build videos around that. This is way more sustainable than trying to do something that isn't true to myself. To summarize, a precise goal that you're working towards with intent, combined with having something that solely relies on you, will instantly put you on a better path in your career as a music producer.